This is breaking news. Our chief executive is having another one of those mental meltdowns.
These folks are trying to brute force their way into power. And not only are we going to call them out on it, but I am convinced in the long run, and I hope they're hearing me, it is going to be your undoing.
The Texas legislature voted to return elections in Harris County to elected officials, and Lina Hidalgo thinks that's like murder.
And what they seem not to realize is that it's not just a murder plot against residents in Harris County. It's a murder-suicide plot that conspires against residents in all of Texas.
And she desperately plays the race card.
They've decided that they want to not only abolish our elections administrator, but they want the ability to remove 2 black women elected officials.
In fact, the new law replaces appointed bureaucrat Clifford Tatum with those 2 Democratic elected officials. Their skin color should be irrelevant. Enough. So why is Lina Hidalgo really freaking out? Why is she willing to spend your tax money to sue the state again just to keep Clifford Tatum in his job? A guy hired just a year ago despite his history of botching elections in previous places.
I want our residents to know what's happening.
No, you don't. You're spending tax money to keep November election records a secret from voters and taxpayers. Mattress Mac and I had to file a lawsuit months ago seeking simple sunshine.
This shows me without doubt that somebody planned this. The probability is too small that this was done by coincidence.
Post-election maps showed ballot paper problems affected mostly polls where Republicans usually prevail. Weeks after the election, Clifford Tatum issued a 25-page report saying his ballot paper investigation after that election was, well, inconclusive.
We found when 121 polls opened on Election Day, they did not get enough ballot paper.
If you're a Democrat, you didn't like the KOJU investigation that cites more than 120 locations that were undersupplied with ballot paper, while millions of ballot sheets were available in a warehouse. And if you are a Republican, you likely think the Houston Chronicle's Jen Rice was covering for Tatum when she wrote in April, the Chronicle had decided only 20 locations actually ran out of paper, and who really knows if those people couldn't just find another place to vote. The Democratic Party used that story to attack. But until now, you've never seen this. Betcha the Chronicle hasn't either. A document detailing the actual reports from precinct judges and alternate judges at the 782 polling locations. And yes, they're both Democrats and Republicans. What we see will only fuel the calls for a brand new election. There was consensus that dozens of polls ran out of paper. Precinct judges cited 62 polling locations that ran out, some for just minutes, some for hours.
Because we ran out of the paper and there were people that were not able to vote, including my son who came after work. They were not able to vote.
I could not vote, so I was extremely disappointed.
But it's not just ballot paper problems. Election judges reported 119 polls, nearly 15%, that didn't open up on time on election morning. Late in the day, a district judge ordered that polls stay open until 8 p.m. But a lot of election judges either didn't get the message or didn't care when they did. 64 polls closed at 7 p.m., even after the judge's order. This information didn't come from us. It came straight from the top folks who were running the polls. And it should force Judge Hidalgo to release all remaining public records. If she won't join us in truly wanting election integrity, election fairness, it's time she looks for another gig. Lina Hidalgo should have told you all this months ago. Maybe if she had, there wouldn't have been a need for more checks and balances.
It's absolutely, to me, I mean, distasteful is an understatement.
We think what you're doing is distasteful. What else are you hiding, Hidalgo?